Welcome back to Cryptolytics, giving you a fresh take on crypto analytics. And today we're going to do a deep dive on the Injective ecosystem. And this may give some compelling reasons as to why Injective has a lot of potential this cycle. And I'll show some really cool, profitable opportunities over in the ecosystem. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? Okay, so here we are on the Injective chart. It's probably not really that big a deal since what I'll be covering today is the ecosystem. But Injective has been in this channel. You can see it was sort of established back here, just kind of been bouncing in this descending channel here for some time. But if you have a look and see what this is a part of, this is part of what looks like a bull flag. So if you measure the bottom of the move to the top of the move, which would be here, over here to the breakout, we could be looking at a $70 objective if this breakout happens and it is a bull flag. So anyway, that doesn't matter too much because what we're going to cover is we're going to cover the ecosystem. But price action's doing pretty well at least. So, that's always a plus, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do when using the Injective network is you're going to want to get a Keplr wallet. Now, in the future, there's a good chance that we'll be able to use the Phantom wallet for Solana users out there. And that's because there's already been some partnerships for the Phantom wallet to integrate into the Injective ecosystem by using sole domain names. And that's just a first start. So, we could be seeing Phantom as a viable wallet option when it comes to Injective. But for now, the best wallet, in my opinion, to use is the Keplr wallet. So your first step would be to download it and back up your seed phrase somewhere safe. It's always the first step. And when you've set it up, essentially you'll come to a dashboard. You'll want to add the chain to the list and you'll be able to start by either withdrawing some Injective from an exchange and you'll be able to get your wallet address from up here. Just copy the address essentially, and that will get you started. Or you could also bridge in from other networks, and I'll leave a link up above for a video where I go over coming at the Injective ecosystem from the Solana network. I do cover some of this stuff already in that video, but this is a much deeper dive, and this is after I've been using the Injective network extensively for a couple of weeks now. So I should be able to give more alpha in this video compared to what I did back then. But anyway, in this wallet, you can also stake, you can vote in governance. There's liquid staking as well, but I wouldn't go for this liquid staking option. I would use DeFi to get to it. But in here, once you stake, you can claim your staking rewards and choose validators. And the reason why I've picked Prism, I've covered in previous videos, but that's because they're doing a stake drop campaign, which means that if you delegate to their validator, then you are eligible for their airdrop at the end of the campaign. So that's why I picked them. So let's move on. So here we are in NinjaVault. So NinjaVault.co is the first platform we'll be looking at. Now this is looking to be the equivalent of Sonar Watch, for example, on the Solana ecosystem, or DBank over for EVM chains. And what this is it's basically a portfolio manager. So it should be able to look at all of the various protocols within the ecosystem, and it should be able to find what sort of positions you've got open, but it's quite limited at the moment. So we only have a few right now, the things that it can find, but I'm hoping they build it out. Now this is by the team that made DojoSwap, so that will be the first thing that I look at after this. But DojoSwap is a Launchpad, Airdrop platform, and a decentralized exchange, or DEX. So I've set up a test wallet for this video, just put a little bit of money in here and did a few things in the ecosystem in this wallet so I could show you. So again, this one's also staking to the Prism validator, so you can look at staking here. You can see this thing that says NinjaVault, and I'll show you what that is in a second. Also, we've got some of the DojoSwap LP positions in here as well, and just a few tokens sitting in the wallet, and here's some low value stuff essentially. So it's pretty cool. So I'll show you the vault now. The vaults are a way to auto compound staking, for example. This does have the Dojo token, and I'll show you why the Dojo token is something that's worth buying in a second. And I do realize prices appreciated a lot recently, and I'll tell you exactly why that's happening. But at the moment, Dojo has 127% APY on staking, which is pretty crazy. This is auto compound, but you do actually still need to claim your rewards. So I've got one Dojo here that I can claim. So you just click this and then you'd want to sign the transaction to claim it. Any of these tokens you can stake through this platform. So if you've got Kage, the DojoRoll LP just sitting in your wallet that you haven't actually added to a pool yet, or even Dojo, then here is where you can deposit it. And easily done is you just click on deposit, click deposit, and sign the transaction, and we're done. Now that's already in there, and now that's auto compounding. This is really cool. This is something that's building out slowly. Also got this Sushi Dojo LP as well, which is a really good one. I'm going to show the Sushi launch because I think the Sushi launch was something that is actually incredibly innovative and something that I think some developers out there will use as a reference potentially for their own projects because it was really successful. Now the Dojo token has been going crazy. This is coinhole.org, and this is good for the Injective ecosystem coins. Also has others as well from other ecosystems, but we'll just be covering the Injective ones. You can see here are some of the other Injective coins and tokens. There's not a lot yet, so we're pretty early still overall, but look at Sushi. It's worth $1,000. I'm going to show you why that is soon. Now we're going to cover the DojoSwap first. So DojoSwap is just a DEX, right? You can add liquidity, you can swap. That's kind of the basic stuff. But where the power of DojoSwap really is in the airdrops, NFT, Launchpad. So let's go over it now. It doesn't have every token in the ecosystem, but it has quite a few of them. The main top tier coins that it has would be Solana, Atom, Celestia, Wrapped Bitcoin, ETH, and also USDC and USDT. Its liquid staked token, so that's Dojo's liquid stake token, is DINJ. Now at the moment that's at a discount, which I think is only temporary, and it's not financial advice, but even on my X I posted there's a potential arbitrage opportunity here because DojoSwap is building up to be the biggest swap platform on Injective, and the reason why that is because of the traction and hype that they've gained on X and social platforms like that. So I think this discount is temporary only. But again, I could be wrong on that. But if we have a look at DINJ, it's no longer at a discount. I posted it yesterday when it was at a discount, and now it no longer is. When I posted that, it was at 97 cents and it's gone up 3% since. So this can happen anyway still. You can see this is the Injective to DINJ chart. It's been kind of ranging, but slowly going up. But because of the lack of liquidity, you can buy under a certain price and you can sell over into Injective, and you can swap back and forth if you really want to do something like that. And Coinhole has watch lists and also price alerts, which you'll need to sign up for in order to get the price lists. But it's one of these things where you could very easily, set up a range and you could swap out into DINJ here and then swap into Injective up here, for example, as it does bounce back and forth in this channel, trying to maintain peg. But over time, it should appreciate as it's a liquid stake token. It should be factoring in that 15 roughly % APY or APR, I think it is, into the token as it is a rebased liquid stake token. I think by now most people know what a decentralized exchange is, so I probably don't need to cover much about that, but I'll also cover a little bit more about it in the couple things here. So the first thing I want to cover is the airdrops. Now, this is something that's been happening quite frequently. I don't know when this is going to stop, but these are mainly tokens associated with NFT projects, like for example, the Sushi one. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have enough Dojo. And so this is the thing to look out for with the DojoSwap airdrops is you need Dojo. So you need the Dojo token, and they take snapshots at the snapshot period end date, and whatever your worth is at the end of the snapshot is how much you will get allocated in the token. Now, these tokens are really, really cool. So not all of them, but I think a lot of them are the CW404 standard, and I will go into more about that in just a second. But it's something where it's definitely worth buying and staking Dojo. I mean, the price has been up only, and the reason for that is because of the airdrops and the launch pads. I think they've gone about this in a really innovative way, and they're essentially giving their token an insane amount of value. And the biggest thing that we have coming up now, and if this is the only thing you take away from this video, let it be this. And that's, we have this baby DojoSwap token, where on the 3rd of the 3rd this year, we'll be having a token airdrop where half of the value of your Dojo will be airdropped to you in another token called Baby Dojo. Now, literally, if you have $1,000, $2,000, and I haven't put that much in this wallet, but if you have, even like $500, you're going to get airdropped $250. So you can turn essentially $500 into $750 just by buying Dojo, which is insane. And the token has been going up only, as I said before. I mean, it's unfortunately going ballistic now. So, it's still kind of not too late, but this sort of period here over the last few days is a good time to buy. But either way, it's still really good because whatever money you put into this, essentially you're going to get airdropped half of that as well. And you can either sell that or you can speculate on this as well. And it's a reflection token on the Cosmos ecosystem. So think about SafeMoon or something like this, where 8% of every transaction volume will be used to buy back Dojo and distribute it to holders. This is like the first sort of SafeMoon token, and I believe this uses the CW404 standard, which is akin to token 22, and Ethereum has one too as well. But this is one of these reflection tokens where 1% of every transaction used to burn Dojo and another 1% from the Dojo, baby Dojo LP will be redistributed to holders. Now, I don't really like these tokenomics that much these days because it really discourages people from selling it, but this one's just going to get airdropped at the end of the day anyway. Hopefully you'll make it, but I think I will probably hold on to this to see how well it does. I think most people will probably end up selling this at the start, and then maybe it will start to gain appreciation, as for every $1 million in volume traded in the baby Dojo token, there's 90k USD of buy pressure on Dojo, and that reflected payouts is released to users every day. The more baby Dojo you hold, the greater your reward. So again, it's just one of these tokens that you see all the time on Binance Smart Chain. This is not a new thing, but it's new to DojoSwap. But the CW404 standard adds another really innovative thing, and we'll go over the Sushi token launch to cover one of the other really cool things, and that's linking tokens with NFTs. Now, for this, we're going to look at Sushi. Now, Sushi is for the Sushi Fighters, I believe, which is a NFT collection. So this is a token for an NFT collection. Now, a lot of NFT collections just make tokens, but they're kind of arbitrary and they don't really mean anything. The difference between that and something like this, and you may have heard about this on Solana ecosystem like Bozo Hybrid, for example, where buy pressure from the token increases the floor price of the NFT collection and vice versa. It creates this whirlwind effect where it can really pull the price of either up. Based on the token speculators and based on NFT flippers, it can greatly increase the value of either, which is a really, really cool concept. I mean, that's the sort of elevator pitch. It's a lot more detailed than that, but I won't go into too many of the technicalities behind it. I'll just try to summarize it as much as possible. But the other thing you get with these tokens is if you hold one whole token, then you get randomly dropped NFTs. And that's the reason why this token is now worth $1,000, because if you hold one of them, then you just get NFTs dropped to you. And the floor price for these have gone up significantly. We can see the floor price right now is 30 INJ, which is $1,200 at the time of recording. So that's pretty crazy, $1,200 for an NFT. Some people are selling it for even more, like 50, 60, 66. This is insane. These are really, really high value. So if you hold one token, one single Sushi token, and you can buy fractions of a token, but if you hold one whole token, you get randomly dropped NFTs from this collection, which is crazy. Like imagine if you got something that was worth 50 INJ just for holding one token. So this is what creates this crazy buying pressure where speculators on either side end up just buying this thing to the moon, essentially. So that's why I think this launch went really, really well. And this is definitely something that I think we'll see more projects adopt going forward. And also, in addition, if you stake your NFT, then you can earn some unknown tokens. I'm not sure what they are yet, but from future new features on DojoSwap. So, I mean, this is really, really cool. And we can see that Sushi actually dropped at $200. So even straight away, it was really quite expensive. And that's why when I saw it, I was like, well, I don't want to buy this now, but it's gone up about 500%, which is not crazy, but considering this could go up an insane amount if Injective really gains traction. So I don't hold any of these, so I'm not shilling my bags. I don't really do anything to shill bags. I just like to educate. But at the end of the day, this is something that if this is a successful ongoing project and the floor prices for these become insane, then we're going to see a lot more projects doing this sort of thing going forward. So the next thing to check out would be the Launchpad. Now, the Launchpad, the way you get into these Launchpads is by providing liquidity. So you can see the raising token is Dojo and INJ LP. You have to provide liquidity to the INJ and Dojo LP, which again creates more buying pressure for Dojo and Injective because people want to participate to get an allocation in these projects. Especially if the more of these projects are successful, the more people will come and buy these, which will create buying pressure and lock them up in order to qualify to be even able to buy it before it's listed. And you can come down and have a look at how it works. If you intend to participate $1,000 into our Launchpad, purchase some Dojo INJ via the Zap feature. So they got this Zap feature. Now, I don't think you need to $1,000 to participate. I don't think it's a barrier to entry. It's just saying if you intend to participate, purchase some Dojo INJ LP. You can use the Zap feature. It can automatically convert either USDT or Injective into the LP. Or you could just do it manually by going to the swap and click liquidity and add Injective and the Dojo token, and you can just do it that way. Zap feature is pretty cool. If you're zapping more than $8,000 per transaction, it might incur high slippage. I don't think that's going to be a problem for most of us, to be honest. But on top of being able to participate in this, if we have a look here at the Dojo INJ LP, its APR is 297%. So while you're not participating in the Launchpad, you can earn 297% APR, which is crazy. That's insane and really, really cool. So this is something that you can do if you wish to participate in the airdrop. Again, there's impermanent loss as an issue, but both Dojo and Injective are kind of going up at the moment. So I don't think you have to worry too much about impermanent loss. And with this kind of APR, I mean, that's really, really nice. So this gives incentives to people to buy both Injective and Dojo and not sell it. So this is keeping people sticky, which I think is a really powerful mechanism, because it's always really hard for these platforms to prevent people from just dumping their tokens and essentially killing price, which kills the hype, so to speak. But with these sorts of ongoing incentives, then it's going to keep people sticky, and that will result in price appreciation. And so that will create that snowball effect to keep people engaged. So this is a game token, and this will launch us in 1 day and 7 hours as the time of recording. But this is X-Ninja, and it's a social fire 2.0 project built on Injective. You can train your ninja character, fight battles directly on X interface, and earn rewards while scrolling and playing. I think it's kind of cool. So it uses X or Twitter, and maybe it will use Out if that gets built out, which I'll show you later in the video. But it's just a game, and this might appeal to you, and if so, then it can't hurt to participate in this. For every $1 of Dojo net worth, you can partake $1 of Dojo INJ LP. So you need to have Dojo, and you need to have the Dojo INJ LP, and also Sushi in your wallet and the Sushi Dojo LP in the farm vault also count towards your Dojo net worth. This is really cool. They've also added more reasons to buy and hold and use the Sushi token as well. Again, really innovative stuff in my opinion. And I think this is all still early days, so we don't know what kind of flow-on effects this is going to have in the ecosystem. I think this is really going to start to inject, unintended, liquidity into the ecosystem. I think that's really, really cool, and that's how you participate in the launch pads. Come over and check this out if you're interested, and I'll move on in just a second. But also, I just wanted to say that this is their DINJ liquid staked derivative, which I mentioned before. So if you have Injective and DINJ, you can actually earn an additional 69% APR on it. Now that's paid out in the Dojo token, and remember that this also collects fees between swaps on the Dojo platform. So that's also part of that, and you can see what that is. That's 45% farm. LP fee is about 8%. Really, really cool. And the LSD pair, which is a liquid stake derivative pair, APR is about 16%. So instead of just holding your INJ, if you have it in this pool, then total APR is 69. So you'd want to come in and harvest this every now and then restake it. And in terms of Dojo staking, you can either pair it with Injective and put it in here, and you can also use it to participate in the Launchpad, or you can just go over to the vault and stake it within here. So those are your options. And I think the Dojo token's destined for great things. I mean, that's almost a given at this point. And also Sushi as well, that's because that also counts towards your Dojo worth. I mean, I think this thing's just going to keep going. To be honest, I mean, we'll definitely get pullbacks or consolidation periods, but this thing's just going ballistic, and not that many people know about this. I don't think so. This is one of these things where the opportunity is still there, even though we have, done these sorts of crazy price moves. So let's move on. And while we're on the topic of launch pads, I will cover Mito Finance. Covered this in previous videos, of course, but this is my deep dive, so it seems relevant to cover it again. The way this launchpad works is, in this case, which is the QUNT token. So again, this is another token that is linked to a PFP collection or NFT collection. You actually needed to hold a NFT in order to qualify for this. So if you didn't hold a NFT, then, well, unfortunately, you weren't able to qualify for this, like myself. But you also had a max allocation. Whitelisted users will be able to subscribe with 1 Injective per QUNT NFT they own. For example, 2 QUNTs owned is 2 Injective max. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to buy that much of this, but still, I think this was a pretty successful launch. The other thing they have is vaults as well. So you can actually earn 432% APY in this automated recompounding vault for Dojo INJ. So that's really, really cool. We've got Tellus INJ, which is the NFT platform, which is this. So this is your OpenSea or Magic Eden equivalent, where you can buy and sell NFTs, which I showed just before. And Injective USDT, which, that's an impermanent loss pool, but, the APY on this is pretty crazy at the moment. And that will come down as more people participate. The Launchpad is definitely one to watch. I think Mito had a fair bit of hype on it on X. Very keen to see what other projects launch on Mito, and it's definitely one to watch. So another DEX I thought I should mention is Astroport, and Astroport works on Say. It also works on Injective and Neutron if you use that. But this is another swap platform, which I think it's good, but I personally think that DojoSwap, because it's specific to the Injective network, is going to build out a lot more. So that's probably the one to watch, I think, overall. But I think Astroport is still really cool, and I thought I would just mention it. But I think what is even cooler is Helix. Now, Helix is a Perp DEX and order book DEX, as well as it has bots as well, trading bots, which is really, really cool. And they use grid strategy. So let's have a quick look. In terms of spot, well, that's pretty standard. It'll be most of the tokens on the Injective network for the most part. And you can buy with limit orders or market buy, which is the equivalent of just swapping. But it also has futures as well. And DGen at your own risk with futures, obviously. But this is really cool, and it has a lot of options. Liquidity is okay, but for the most part, it works as long as you're not dealing with wicks. So if you've got a limit order where price wicked into and then basically left immediately, well, a lot of those wouldn't get filled because there's not enough liquidity. But nevertheless, it's still got a lot of these token pairs that you can trade. And I think that's really, really cool. It's even got Bonk and Jupiter. I mean, Jupiter, this is on the Injective network, right? It's got Celestia, Pith, Sui. I mean, there's a lot of options here, even XLR, which is really good because that facilitates swaps throughout the IBC, or the inter-blockchain communication network, which is facilitated by Cosmos or Atom. So, I mean, I think this is really, really cool that you've got Perps trading. And because Injective is so fast and has sub-second finality and has been up 100% of the time, so no downtime, I think it's a really good blockchain to facilitate things like perpetual swaps. Now, it has your standard swap, but I think their power in this is really in the spot trading, where you do get a chart. It's very limited in functionality, but so you can't add anything to this. So I recommend if you're going to do any technical analysis, you do it elsewhere and then bring your trades in here if you want to use it. But you've got all the standard stuff, which is your limit order, your market orders. And obviously for perpetuals, we'll want stop losses. So we've got stop limit and stop market. Stop market, for example, is probably the one to go for the most part. But, you got trigger price, all that sort of stuff. Max leverage is up to 10x on some of these, I believe. Maybe some have higher, but for the most part, I think 10x, which is, I think, more than enough for most, especially when you're dealing with altcoins because they have really, really high percentage moves. And you've got open positions down here, open orders, trigger orders, so on and so forth. So got nothing open in this account, so I can't really show you how it works, but nevertheless, I think that just puts it into perspective. We got spot grids as well, where if you know how a spot grid works, is it will create a series of buy and sell grids above and below price. For example, if we have Injective, say it's stuck in a range, which it has been, which would have been amazing for spot grids. You give it a low point and a high point for price. And for example, it will put in, and it'll be more than this, a lot more than this, but it will put a bunch of sell orders up above price, and it'll put a bunch of buy orders below price according to what you set. It also can automatically work out what the range is as well, which I think is really cool. And essentially as it comes down, it will buy, and it goes up, it will sell. So at the moment, I just put a tiny little bit into this on this account, but it's up about 10% almost. That's really cool. And that was about 6 days ago that I put in that lower bound and upper bound. So I think that's really, really cool. Spot grid trading decentralized, which I think is really cool. So no futures grid trading as of yet, I don't believe, which is fine because we don't really want to be subjected to liquidation anyway. So that's fine. I think that's really cool. I haven't seen too many blockchains with these sorts of features, trading specific with bots and stuff. They have a trade and earn program, although I'm not really sure how you qualify for this because I've traded on here and haven't really received anything. That's fine. I don't mind that much, but nevertheless, something that might work out. And there's also LP rewards as well for providing liquidity to the platform, but I would prefer to do that in Dojo personally because I think is more upside on the rewards over there. Staying on the automated trading path, we've got Black Panther. Now, Black Panther's got basic swap. So again, it's another DEX, so you can swap between tokens, and you can also provide liquidity, which is incentivized in their token, I believe. But I think the really cool thing that this platform offers is these vaults. So this is a trend following strategy. It uses 1.5x leverage, which I think is cool. Not too degen either. And we got, for example, this is a trend following vault. So I put a tiny bit of money in here, not really that much, but just to test it out and see how it would go. And it was down for a bit, as in, you know, it was at a loss for a little bit. And now these are starting to earn a small amount of profit. I mean, because they're a tiny amount of money. But we can see here, for example, this Injective one. So this is a trend following strategy. You can have a look at the performance graph over here. And I think these are all the buy and sells. So you can see as it's going down, it's sell, 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 and it starts to buy back, buy back, buy back, and it keeps going sell. So it's not buying here anymore. It's just selling, selling, selling. And then as it gets to here, it's going up and it's taking a little bit of profit. So this thing is scalping like a boss, essentially. So again, this can have drawdown, but at the moment, the last 7 days has been a 30% profit on this bot. I think this is really cool. Again, degen at your own risk with this stuff. It's got greed trading, trend following, real yield, and you can come and see the APY. And this, I think, is calculated based on the last 7 days. So I think it projects based on that. Look at this Dojo INJ. How insane is this? But anyway, this is trend following BNB. This is why I put a little bit into this. Projected, it's going to be 898% APY. But obviously this will change as the performance changes, and I believe it's calculated on a 7-day basis. So I think that's really cool. I love bots, which I'm sure if you follow my channel, you know. So this really appeals to me personally, and I'm using them only with a little bit of money in this account. I don't think I've got anything open in my other account, so I haven't actually used it on this. But again, it's one of these things where I mainly did this to hopefully qualify for an airdrop, but I don't believe we'll be getting one. I'm not really sure. All we have is hope when it comes to airdrops that we'll get another one that's for people who've used the platform. They already did an airdrop, I believe, but that's all been taken out here. So it's not in here anymore. They also did a stake drop where if you stake to them, you also get an airdrop, but you can see they've removed the tab, but you can still come in here and see, well, that they've removed the page. So anyway, so the next thing I want to cover is Neptune Finance. Now, Neptune Finance is a money market. What that means is a lending and borrowing protocol. So something where you can put assets in and borrow against it, essentially. And again, like one of these things where you don't want to go too crazy on this sort of stuff because of volatility. If you're putting in a volatile asset as collateral and borrowing too much against it, then that could be problematic. But for the sake of this video, I've just created this account here and I put in about 7.33 INJ and borrowed 36.96 USDT against it. And some of that money I put into the Black Panther vault. So you can earn yield on this as well, but the yields aren't that high at the moment because the platform's not really being used. So you can see how much collateral you've deposited, how much you've borrowed. And the main reason why I'm using this is so I can get onto the leaderboard. Again, I'm really low, so that doesn't really matter. I don't really try to game these things too much. I just sort of check them out and see how they work. But yeah, you get points by using the platform. So this is me kind of like farming an airdrop, but also using it as well, which generally is how you should airdrop farm, really, is just by using the platform. Because in this day and age, we are getting farmed as well when it comes to airdrop farming. So better to actually just use the platform rather than doing it for the sake of airdrop farming. There were accolades for using the testnet. I used the testnet, but I don't think I used it early enough. So, you know, if you've used the testnet, then you get these accolades, which gives you a multiplier, which I think is a really cool concept, to be honest. You get this accolade, so you can see that this is a one-off 1500 points rather than an ongoing multiplier. This person, for example, has a testnet top 1000, which gave them a 15% multiplier. I wish that I was doing that sooner, but anyway, what can you do, right? I started using this in January, and I believe the snapshot for the airdrop was earlier than when I started using it. So unfortunately, I don't have any accolades or anything like that, but I did use the testnet and it was a pretty smooth process and the user experience was good. So that's why I decided I would use the mainnet. And I mentioned before about Out, which is the Injective SoFi Twitter equivalent. With this, I would recommend, if you want to check this out, that you sign in with email and password, because if you can use X, which is cool, but if you check out the permissions, it can mute, block, and report accounts for you. It can create, manage, delete lists of collections. I mean, I think this is pretty much almost full control of your account, which is not ideal. I think it's really cool. It's basically, it looks like X. You know, it's got like a chat on the side. They've kind of designed it to look a little bit like X. So we'll see how this builds out. I still haven't set up an account yet, but I mean, I think the user experience will be very similar. So you'll have, you know, your standard feed that you can post to, you can follow people and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I think this is cool. Social Fi really hasn't taken off and the narrative hasn't really stuck yet, but it's one of these things that we could very well see when Web3 adoption really starts to take hold. And I want to show you why I don't recommend the Hydra protocol for your staking. Now, for liquid staking, this could be an arbitrage opportunity as more people come to Injective and see that the largest protocol at the moment on DeFi Llama is the Hydra protocol. That's anything to go by. I suppose people might still use it. I would say this could be an arbitrage opportunity as it's worth 0.93 of one Injective at the moment, which I think is not very good. But I think this is because people are bailing from this and entering the Dojo DINJ due to DojoSwap being such a powerful app and on the rise. And there are other protocols like Levana, which also works on the same network, which is another perp DEX. But I think the main reason why I prefer Helix is because of the bots and stuff as well. And it's specific to Injective, so they can really build it out to the Injective ecosystem. And I think there'll be games and stuff that will start to come to Injective as well. You know, you got these classic Web3 games like Roll and stuff, but I mean, this doesn't appeal to me personally, but maybe you like this sort of thing, like flipping a coin, pick between two numbers and roll the marquee and dice toss, stuff like that. I mean, this is like a first case, and I believe this is by the same team that made Dojo. So, I mean, those guys are just on fire with regards to building. But I think that covers most of the Injective ecosystem at the moment in terms of what you can use.
I'm here to talk about Injective's Electro Chains, which takes a step further when it comes to interoperability and scalability than just creating different bridging solutions. Injective's Electro Chains foster flexibility, empowering developers to deploy dapps across various blockchain ecosystems seamlessly. The first of these Electro Chains are in EVM and in SVM, which are just different rollup environments for Ethereum and Solana, respectively. These VMs environments accommodates different virtual machines, each tailored to execute smart contracts written in different programming languages or adhering to different execution models.
And we can see the ecosystem slowly building out. You know, we have the CW404 standard. This is on the 27th of Feb. So Binance has got a simple earn for Injective. I probably wouldn't use that personally. But anyway, 500k followers on Injective, showing growing interest in the ecosystem. Ninja has launched and is on mainnet now. DojoSwap has 55 million TPL, not according to DeFi Llama, but that's fine. So I'm not really sure where they get this number from, but nevertheless, if it's pulled directly from the platform, then that's all well and good. And Coin Bureau did an interview with Eric from the team, one of the co-founders. And in this video, which I think it's probably worth a watch, it does go for 45 minutes, but I think it's probably worth a watch. They go over the Mito finance launch, which I had a look at already. The in EVM, which there's a full doc on it. The Volant upgrade, which is coming up. Gas compression, and the real world asset tokenization. And that's a narrative that they go over. But I think this video is worth a watch if you're really interested in the workings behind the scenes on Injective. So something that's worth checking out, I would say, if you really want to know more about the project. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, then please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that bell notification if you want to be alerted when videos come out by me. And leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about today's video. And go give me a follow over on X if you want the latest updates on things that I'm seeing throughout the crypto space. So until next time, keep safe out there. This is Cryptolytics signing out. Have a good one.